welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACTN. I'm George Mattis, your host, and I'll be here for the next hour or so with something that is always relevant in sport in Trinidad and Tobago. On today's program, we're going to be talking martial arts, and I'm pleased to have a member of the PKATT Sports Martial Arts Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and I have with me the president, Mr. Martin J. Clashie, and he'll be here for the next hour to highlight and to let you, the viewers, know much more about this organization and what they have planned for 2018. A major tournament is on the horizon, and he's going to tell us a bit about that. So, Clashie, it's a pleasure, and welcome to ACTN.
It's a pleasure being here.
First of all, let's get in a nutshell. PKATT, this organization, some of us might not be aware of it. The name might be new to us. Tell us a bit about your organization.
Well, PKATT was founded about 10 years ago to fill a void that was in the martial arts environment. There were other organizations that were treating with a certain sector, but the contemporary division had no organization that would govern and administer the athletes. So PKATT came on board and took up the slack. We got recognition from the International Federation, a recognition by the Ministry of Sport.
Okay, so you all are affiliated with the Ministry of Sports? Okay.
Definitely,
yeah.
Yes. 10 years now.
Okay.
Right? They recognize the association as the governing body for contemporary sport martial arts. So in that way, we are able to regulate, govern, set standards, set rules and regulations that would administer and coordinate the proper development of the sport. Right? We handle young children from age of under 5 to adults. You know, so that's where we are.
Now, you said you all started about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Take me through the 10 years of your building and where you are presently with the organization.
Well, like in all associations or life on the whole, the teething problems
yes, you always find
were there. We started out, it was a struggle. They had detractors, but we don't take that on. We moved on. We built a circuit, the only full martial arts circuit that we have in Trinidad and Tobago. We run on average about 9 tournaments annually, which produces athletes of the year, athletes of the quarter, championships, and which then we are able to select based on the point standings, people that we can take to a national team, and which we did earlier, late last year as a matter of fact. We took a team to Mexico, and the team did fantastically well. The country got world standing at 47 in the world at the time, and our athletes, we had about 7 of them ranking the top 10. Worldwide is speaking of, you know. So we have achieved over time. For the 10 years, we have put in the groundwork, and we have been able to bring home the bacon. And after that, now we are heading on to the CAC Championships, which would be hosted in Trinidad and Tobago in 2018.
But before we go into that, I know we'll spend some time discussing that project, but you said that you all have basically around 9 tournaments, you know, locally.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about the tournaments themselves, you know, exactly where they were kept, you know, and a little detail.
Well, we usually host events in Shogunas, indoor facility. Yeah, it is pretty central, and so the athletes from around can all gather there. We have a little over 125 competitors averaging for each event, and they range from 6 and under to 19 and over. And as I said earlier, these tournaments are rated. There are some 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars,
Okay.
and out of them, points are allotted to each individual.
Okay.
And if you come first right through the year in each division, it means that your points would be at the top of the game.
Okay.
And
Now, you said that earlier before we were talking, your organization doesn't have branches, but you have clubs affiliated to the organization.
Yes, we have clubs affiliated.
How many clubs are affiliated to the
Presently, we have
association?
about 6 clubs.
The 6 clubs.
Yes, about 6 clubs affiliated from across the country.
So you all are still relatively, I mean, 10 years might seem long, but it's still...
No, 10 years is a short time.
It's a short, yes, it's a short time.
In this business, 10 years
and
is a
especially
short
if you
time.
want to build a solid foundation.
A solid foundation,
You cannot
yes.
rush into things.
No, you cannot.
Right.
You cannot.
What are some of the issues? Because in every sporting organization, there are issues. There are things that, you know, obstacles that you have to continue, you know, crossing. What are some of the obstacles that this organization, PKATT, has to undergo on a daily or yearly basis?
Well, our main issue is getting the clubs to understand what a national governing body is.
Okay.
That's the main issue. Because our industry has been operated in a particular way for a number of years, since its inception, as a matter of fact, without any, what am I say, structure. So now that a structure has come in place and you have guidelines to follow, both from the Ministry of Sport and both from the International Federation, it would now mean that you have to ask people to change the way they have been doing business and to do it in another way. And that's the biggest bugbear. But we are able, some people are beginning to understand that we are living in the 21st century and we are dealing with sport. And using sport as an umbrella word, it would mean that you have to operate as a sport.
Right.
And sport requires a certain governance structure, certain accountability, and things like that.
How wide is your organization, the local leg of your organization? How many people, you know, what sort of structure you all have? How do you all operate to make sure that everything is done in accordance with the governing body, right? Who is the head over your organization? And now there is, I think, from what I understand from the Minister of Sports, is that they're going to put a body, I think it's the combat sports, so everything is going to fall under that. Are you all?
That is not entirely so. Not because we are martial arts, we necessarily will fall under the Combat Sport Commission.
Okay, right.
The Combat Sport Commission would be dealing mainly with full contact sport. Right. Boxing, MMA, kickboxing, full contact kickboxing, and so on. So that is what the combat sport would be about. In the martial arts area, we're in another area. Okay, so this wouldn't fall under that? No, we will not fall under that. Okay. Yeah.
But the international body that's over you all is who?
WACO, World Association of Kickboxing Organizations. Right.
Now, if we go in now, I know that when we spoke over the phone, you were excited because come April 6, 7, and 8, the Sea Games, right, will be held in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes. And you are part of it. Let's talk a bit about that now. Yeah. This is the first time it's going to be happening in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, the first time WACO CAC Games would be hosted at all. Oh, and okay. So it's the first, ever. And we have been fortunate to get the opportunity to do it in Trinidad and Tobago, which was negotiated when we were in Mexico for the Pan Am Championships. Right. We sat with the executive over there, Pan Am executive, and they conceded to allow us permission to do the first CSE in Trinidad and Tobago. And you, from where you sit, you are satisfied that you all can pull this off? We could pull it off. Okay, because April is right there. Yeah, April is right there, yes. We can do it. It is not, it's not difficult to do. And we have the necessary manpower, and we have the
logistical things in place, that will take care of it. Everything is basically in order. We're just waiting for the time and for people to start to come in.
Right.
Yeah.
The countries that will be taking part.
Right now we are confirmed with Venezuela, Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana, Brazil, Mexico.
No, this is, well, you're calling names there now to really identify that this is going to be a huge tournament, right? What volume, what quantity of people you expect to be here for those 3 days?
Considering the time of year, we are looking at about 200 competitors coming in.
Right.
Yeah.
And it will be held at the Cascadia?
The Cascadia Hotel and Conference Center, yeah.
What will the 3 days entail? What can, you know, a supporter of martial arts witness over the 3 days?
Well, there will be a lot of excitement, I can tell you this, based on the talent that we have locally and the talent that will be coming in. In each category, there would be point fighting, where the event is, each time a point is scored, the referee will stop the fight and allot the point to the person that scored. Yeah. And then there's another division called the continuous, where the fight goes on straight for 2 minutes of 3 rounds, with a minute rest. And then there what's called kick light, which is like Muay Thai in short pants, you know. And then there's the musical forms, which is quite entertaining.
Now, is this open for these members of the club that falls under your organization, or this will be open to other martial artists in Trinidad and Tobago?
It is a member association.
Okay, only.
Yes, yes,
right.
it's for members, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, going back to this organization, what do you all hope to achieve in the sport of martial arts? And when I say achieve, as president from where you sit, I'm sure that there's election, so you're serving a term.
Yes.
Right? So how long do you have again as president? When is your term up?
About 4 years.
About 4 years. Yeah. In the next 4 years, what do you intend, or where do you intend to take PKATT to, that at the end of the 4 years you can say, well, you have achieved what you have achieved, and look forward maybe to getting another 4 years?
Well, what is on the table right now after CAC, it's World Championships and Pan American Championships. And it is, we are gearing up for that. That will take us notch our world ratings and world standings. Okay, hold that thought there. We need to take a break. When we come back, you'll continue. Okay. Because you are viewing Scoreboard here on ACTN, and we are talking to Mr. Martin J. Clashie, the president of PKATT. PKATT really is PKATT Sports Martial Arts Association. We are talking martial arts. So we'll be right back after this short break.
Field of Dreams, in collaboration with the Secondary Schools Football League, presents the first inaugural All-Star Weekend 2017 at the Manirajan Stadium in Margaret on Saturday the 9th and Sunday the 10th of December 2017. Come out on Saturday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. to witness the skills competition. See the 60-meter dash, team relay with ball, juggling competition, penalty shootout, and much more. Sunday at 3 p.m. vying for the Field of Dreams Challenge Shield. The North All-Star battle the South All-Star. Admission free of charge. Come see the best of the college players for 2017 in action. Don't miss this one. Don't believe me, just watch.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
Welcome to the new season of Football 101. I am your host, Joshua DeMatos.
Well, it's time for your weekly football news update. I love you, Messi.
Unfortunately,
Hey, kiss the badge, kiss the badge. Oh, what's that? Welcome to this edition of the interview, and as you can see, I'm not alone on the set. I have Marcus, a Liverpool fan, and I have Shakir.
Welcome back, viewers. Mr. Clashie, before the break, I interrupted you.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yes, yes. So we are gearing up as we speak, although we are having the CAC, so which means that we are going into CAC, and out of CAC we'll be heading in September to World Championships, and in November the Pan American Championships.
Okay.
It is my hope, dream, vision that we do even better than we did in Mexico, and that we can raise our standings, and our juniors in particular can begin to get their ratings and rankings up to a higher world standard.
Now, martial arts is going to be in the Olympics, right? Are you all setting eyes of maybe to have a member of your organization, work towards that?
Not at this time,
present.
because as a matter of fact, karate would be in the Olympics.
Oh, karate, right.
Which is different from us.
Okay.
Different in the sense that,
You need to explain that to me and also to the viewers, right? You all are martial arts,
yeah.
right? And karate. What
Yeah.
is the...
Okay, the difference would be that martial arts is an umbrella term,
Okay,
while karate is a specialized area,
okay,
right? Karate being Japanese oriented.
okay,
Taekwondo is Korean oriented.
okay.
So when we speak to martial arts, we speak in particularly in our case, we speak of contemporary. We are modern style of martial arts.
Okay, not the Japanese. Or
Not the
Korean,
Japanese,
okay.
not the Korean.
Right.
Yeah.
And the same modern style, that's a style locally
Yes,
invented?
most of it is locally done. Created, developed, mix and match.
Right.
And
So the clubs that is in this organization, each of them will have a different style,
basically, yes.
basically.
Yes,
and
yeah.
this style is created by their
The instructors.
instructors
Yeah.
and so forth. Now, how do these clubs contribute to the organization? Because why I'm asking this question is that you mentioned a lot of major international tournaments,
Yeah.
next year. Now, this brings to the forefront funding, because a trip now, especially with what's happening, it's tough. Who funds the teams or the athletes that go abroad? Do they do themselves? What part your organization play? And as again, go back to the first part of the question, do the organization, contribute, I don't know if you want to say a registration fee or something like that to the organization?
Well, each member has to pay their registration fee. Clubs pay their registration fee.
And that goes to the organization?
Yeah, that goes to the organization to take care of administrative operations, as the case might be. But when having projects like going away and so forth, we embark on fundraisers, and we get assistance from the Ministry of Sport. So between what we get from the Ministry of Sport and the fundraisers that we do, we are then able to make the trips.
Okay. Now, the CSC Games is going to be held in Cascadia in Port of Spain in April.
Yeah.
How is that going to be funded? Because, I mean, first of all, you have to house the athletes. Or are they going to be, how are
I
they going
mean, the athletes that are
to,
coming.
that are coming in?
The athletes that are coming
Right.
in,
So-
they are covering their costs.
Oh, so they are covering the,
Yes,
the
yes,
cost. So
they are
that,
covering
okay,
their costs, yes.
right. And I guess they all are going to be staying at the same venue.
Basically,
Right.
yes.
And that is where the 3 days of,
Yes,
coming.
yes.
But still, a cost is going to be incurred, right?
Yeah.
So what plans do you all have? I know you said the ministry is going to come on board. sponsorship and things like that? How are you all generating funds to?
Well, we have made overtures to corporate TNT.
Okay.
And like I say, we are heavily into the fundraising aspect of it. And the ministry would lend a level of assistance. So we have a three-pronged attack on it right now. You know, so we're hoping that as far as that goes, we should be covered.
Martial arts. Is martial arts a growing sport in Trinidad and Tobago? And is the martial arts clubs or organization, you know, are they fully committed coming under one umbrella? You can choose not to answer that question, you know, because you know why? You know, in sports there are so many little, you know, things that is preventing the body from really, you know, functioning properly.
Yes, there are, but like I said earlier, in this particular industry, some people are set in their ways. Some people are a little more forward thinking. So we take what we get from that perspective as far as membership goes. If you do not become part of, well, you cannot be part of.
Okay.
You know, it is like any other sport. If you want to play cricket, you know where you have to go.
Okay.
If you want to play hockey, you know where you have to go. So if you want to be part of the real martial arts growth and development, you know where you have to be.
Well, your organization is responsible for what?
Meaning what?
Just overseeing the clubs that is under your umbrella and making sure that they act accordingly, put on major tournaments, or the clubs can put on tournaments and it will be sanctioned by PKATT,
Yes.
right? Now, when these clubs put on their tournaments or whatever it is, what part does the PKATT plays? Do you send representatives to make sure, or how do they acquire the professional judging and, you know, officials and things like that?
Well, when a club wants to host a tournament, they make the application. Having done that, everything is left in the hands of the organization.
Okay.
All the
That's your organization.
the PKATT.
Yeah.
Yes, we run the tournament.
Okay.
So the rules are consistent.
You get officials and,
Yes.
and everything, and
Yes.
you outline the structure.
The structure, how the
it's-
tournament has to be
run,
managed and coordinated, etc.
All the club needs to do is to bring the athletes.
That's it. Yes, that's it. Yeah, and in that way you have consistency to the rules, and everybody that are judges and referees are trained. Some trained nationally. We have some national judges and we have some international judges.
Okay.
So the athlete is reasonably sure that he is getting a fair break.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if we go back to the 10 years that this organization has been in existence, right? Is there anything looking back that you felt that you should have done differently and is going to learn from wherever? Because we make mistakes in everything we do until we get that right right pattern or formula, right? But looking back, would you say that it has been a successful 10 years, or you all could have done things a bit different? If so, in what areas?
That's a tricky question. And I'm not saying this to say that we would have done everything good.
Yeah.
You know, but it's still, we're still in one area that we have to appreciate, that we have come into a space that you have to create change. That's the problem.
We hate change.
Yes. And what else, what mistakes can we not make but to do it right?
Okay. You might not get it. You might not get it right the first time.
Yes.
But the second and third time,
Yes.
you're not going
But
to get it right.
so, as long as you do it right, and if individuals are not aware that this is the right and this is the process and the procedure, they will assume that you're doing it wrong. And that's it overall.
So you are quite happy with the last 10 years, right?
Yes,
That you all have done your best, right? And you continue to strive for excellence.
Yeah.
And when your term is up, you'll be satisfied and you will go for another 4 years.
I'll go for another 4 years.
Because the vision you have cannot be completed in 4 years. You see, that is something that I realize that sometimes happens with organization, especially when you are given a term, right? Like some organizations get a 2-year or 3-year. But, I mean, what can you do? Let's say you take over an organization that has been in turmoil.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You cannot bring
Fix
that
it.
and fix that in 2 years.
No.
You know, so I want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming and highlighting the PKATT organization, because it's the first time I heard about them, in fact, right?
Okay.
But I'm quite happy to have you here and being part of, what you all are going to be having next year,
Yes.
right? And we will try to assist you in any way possible,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And we wish you a successful CHC Games. I mean, we're talking about it right now in November, but April is right around the
April
corner.
right
so
right
by
around
the
the
time,
corner,
you reach the postman and come back, it might be time for the tournament.
The
So,
tournament, yes.
is there any parting words you want to share with the viewers before we leave, before we wrap up?
I would just like to say thanks to you and your company for inviting me here this evening.
Yes,
This evening.
Yeah.
And I am sure that at the CAC, you'll be there to give us the necessary coverage.
So, Clashie, it was a pleasure. And we
Same
wish you
here.
all the best.
Right,
Well,
thank
viewers, you have heard the voice of Mr. Martin J. McClashy, the president of PKATT Sports Martial Arts Association. Remember, they will be hosting the CSE Games in April of next year, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th at Cascadia Hotel. We here at ACC are going to be keeping you up to date with what is happening with this tournament, and we hope that the martial arts students or members out there, even if you are not affiliated with this organization, but you can go out and support because it's martial arts. And you can continue to view ACTN and Scoreboard, and we are going to be keeping you up to date, as I said. We're going to take a break.
Let the dogs out! Field of Dreams, in collaboration with the Secondary Schools Football League, presents the first inaugural All-Star Weekend 2017 at the Manirabdon Stadium in Margaret on Saturday the 9th and Sunday the 10th of December 2017. Come out on Saturday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. to witness the skills competition. See the 60-meter dash, team relay with ball, juggling competition, penalty shootout, and much more. Sunday at 3 p.m. vying for the Field of Dreams Challenge Shield. The North All-Star battle the South All-Star. Admission free of charge. Come see the best of the college players for 2017 in action. Don't miss this one.
Don't believe me, just watch.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
My name is Maria Thomas, Trinidad and Tobago national rugby player. You're watching Scoreboard on ACTN.
Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to Scoreboard. And for the second part of Scoreboard, we are going to, as you know, the men's and women's rugby sevens team recently took part in a tournament, the Ram Sevens in Mexico over the weekend. And Scoreboard is going to whet your appetite a bit. For the next half an hour, we're going to give you highlights of a couple of the games that were played with the moment. So sit back and enjoy rugby right here on Scoreboard.
And welcome back. I'm Katie Worst here and Marisol Tello as well here at the RAN Sevens competition. We have our second women's matchup for after the break period. We've got Guyana Rugby Football Union that will be in the yellow and green, as well as Trinidad and Tobago in the red. So quite a great matchup, Trinidad and Tobago. They've been quite successful in this competition in years previous. Marisol, what are we going to be needing to see from them today?
To be honest, I haven't seen them play. I'm actually excited because this is the first time that I see both teams play. And let's see how they fight this match. I did see the Guyana girls play earlier against Jamaica, so I want to see what they have for this match.
And that competition was on field 2 here. We're on field 1, Trinidad and Tobago. They have quite a bit of size advantage and a bit of speed as well. They'll get set to kick off. Now for the restart was for PKATT.
That ball was out. So they're doing a lineup.
They'll get set for a lineup early on. Trinidad and Tobago, one of the top programs here for this competition. They'll get set for the toss in. Great contest in the air. TNT have it now. They get the ball out wide now. They have plenty of options towards the outside. Certainly looking for that blazing speed coming around. But there's an excellent effort defensively for Guyana to get across the field now. And that was great stuff by Cindy Frazier.
I think that was a high tackle, wasn't it?
Yep, I think she did a great job of tracking over and just got a little bit too high. And that's what the center match official and assistant referee will have a chat about now. We're now just considering her fate. Do you think he is going to be going to the pocket?
I think he is. Let's see. And that is a yellow card for team player number 7, Abiosha Haywood from Guyana Rugby Football Club.
I should believe that was
Sorry,
Cindy Frazier.
Yeah, sorry, Cindy Frazier.
That's a tough one for Guyana early on. They'll be playing a man down. Trinidad and Tobago just unfortunately lost the ball forward. They're playing advantage now. Guyana, Abiosha Haywood. Tackle happens and they're going to go back. No forward progress. They'll go back to the scrum thanks to the knock-on. If you just joined us now, I'm Katie Worst.
I'm Marisol, and you can see Trinidad and Tobago playing in the red and Guyana on the green with yellow.
We've got a 0-0 contest straight away. The ball's being put in now by Haywood. Ball went straight out and it'll go right back in.
Redoing the scrum. Guyana players decided to switch sides.
Haywood. And a penalty at the scrum. Looked like boring in there. Now ball to Trinidad and Tobago. Steven. The offload pass. It was Strecker. Now looking for some options towards the outside. That's a beautiful clear out for TNT. Another unfortunate knock off the front of the hands. I believe that time it was Jordan Brown. Trinidad and Tobago just can't seem to find the handles.
Definitely seeing a lot of scrums in this first part of the game.
Oftentimes they can be accredited to good pressure defense, so taking a look at Guyana, how they're trying to get up into their face makes it very difficult for you to focus in and catch the ball when you know that the defense is coming. Now Haywood, very quick to pick up this ball. She's out like a rocket around the corner, and she has it plenty of space towards the outside, dodges that defender, and she's going to put the points on the board for Guyana. Abiosha Haywood brings her team up straight away. Trinidad and Tobago a bit shocked now, but Haywood makes the points count. It's 5-0 in favor of Guyana.
That was an excellent play by Haywood. She's been wanting it all first half of the game. Let's see what happens with this conversion.
Great bit of individual effort there by Haywood. She was so quick to flick that ball up from the ground. The conversion is no good, so the tally will stay for Guyana in favor, 5 points to 0. We're closing in on 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Still early on to this match. Guyana looking to push pace. Haywood gets it off straight away. Now ball towards the outside, Guyana again. Haywood, nice, beautiful offload there to Frazier. Frazier is well tackled, brought to ground. Hands in the ruck there, and that will be a penalty on Guyana. TNT will take no time to get the ball moving forward. They have it now with ball in hand. Nice bit of evasive footwork going forward. That's Straker. Straker right away to Steven. Steven getting it wide all the way out to George. George now storming forward, trying to evade the final tackler. She does, just gets into touch. Thought she had the offload pass.
That was an excellent follow-up by Jordan Brown with her colleague George.
A beautiful bit of continuity there from Trinidad and Tobago. Much better go-forward ball.
Just so outstanding follow-up with her teammates. Let's see what they've got. See if they can reach that try line. Right now we're going to have a line up.
Guyana getting set for the line out. Trinidad and Tobago just bundled into touch. Couldn't quite get that last pass off. Guyana still holds the lead at 5-0. A lot of movement in this line out for Guyana. They go forward. Looks like they come away with possession, potentially. Actually looks like another knock-on.
Guyana have a very strong movement in their lineup. I saw them in their earlier match. And we're having another scrum.
Steven on the put-in for Trinidad and Tobago. Again, another penalty called. Looks like early engagement this time. Trinidad and Tobago wasting no time. They have it in hand now. Plenty of space towards the outside. That's Carliste looking for the option, but beautiful defense. She's almost brought the touch, but ball is still in play. Trinidad and Tobago have it. A lot of contact at this breakdown. Looking to move it forward now is Straker. Straker, again, looking for an option to offload. She's carrying 3 Guyana defenders now. And the penalty is called. Offsides it is. And Straker taps it through the yard. And she has it! Try awarded, Trinidad and Tobago. And just like that, the score is equalized, 5-5.
That was an excellent follow-up, but that was an excellent teamwork by Stevens, Carlisle, and number 3, Jordan Brown from Trinidad and Tobago.
That is a great answer, exactly what TNT needed just to equalize the score, as well just to lift their spirits too going forward. They've had just some real challenges with handling errors, Marisol. What do you attribute to where there's been so many scrums this match?
Yes, there has. I mean, let's wait and see. And Straker, that's an excellent conversion, leaving the marks too.
It's great work there. Trinidad and Tobago takes the lead at 7 points to 5. Just a narrow advantage. Very critical to make these conversions count in such a tightly contested contest. As we go into the halfway, you can't get any closer than this. What are some keys for Guyana to bounce back after the try was scored?
I think I would like to see what happens with Guyana. I love how they're following and their teamwork, how they never stop following their teammates. And I love the potency in Guyana's lineup. I haven't seen any of the other girls' teams here do that. Scrums, we're talking about why we've seen so many scrums. What do you attribute that to, Katie?
I think both these teams are very high-level defensive teams as well. So they've been putting a ton of pressure on, and it is really challenging. A lot of it is just taking your eye off the ball as well, too, especially when you see a gap. You start to see that green space going forward, and you've got to think about what happens first, right? It's always catching the ball and making sure you can consider what's in front of you as well, but also blocking out when that's a defensive pressure coming at you.
Yeah, I know. I remember when there were lots of scrums in the game, you get tired really easily. It makes it a bit more tiring, a bit more frustrating, but they've been playing excellently. So let's see what happens in the second part of the game.
Yeah, you see with the increased volumes of scrums as well, too, there's been several scrum penalties called. There's one for boring in, a few others, just some different things. So credit to the match officials for keeping this a fair and even contest. And we have seen there was a yellow card early on as well for Guyana. And they're back on the field, so back at full strength.
Yes, just two.
And Trinidad and Tobago has a narrow 2-point lead at 7 points to 5 against Guyana. They just scored the try at the death for the first half, and now a lot more rugby to be played in the second half.
We can see 7 players back in the Guyana side.
Yeah, certainly very deep on this restart. Trinidad and Tobago just drops it in, and it will go into touch. We'll get set for a line out here. Guyana looked at the option to go quick. Trinidad and Tobago was in place.
Haywood taking the ball for Guyana for that line out.
Haywood was the try scorer from earlier. She's just pretty much does everything for this team here. An exceptional athlete. Guyana, again, a lot of movement in this line out here. And Trinidad and Tobago from the ground just taps it up. The call is offsides. Guyana has it now in hand, wasting no time to go forward ball. That's Thomas. Pass back. Aaron goes through the hands, but now ball in hand again to Stewart. Has it now. Moving forward. She gets the ball to ground with some help from Steven. Steven wants to move it quick as well. And George. And she's bundled into touch. Trinidad and Tobago wasting no time. They
keep on the game going. What? I think that was a high attempt of a tackle.
Yeah, potentially looks like maybe the tackle was high in that contact area. So they tried to go quick with the line out, and they brought it back to where the penalty was called. Actually go back to initially not a penalty, back to the line out. Was in touch. The assistant referee made the call there.
Cordes does the line out for Trinidad and Tobago.
Looks like the ball was not in straight. Let's look at the choice. They've elected to go with the scrum. Interesting decision for Guyana because clearly Trinidad and Tobago has the size advantage.
Exactly, for a good line out.
Haywood placed the ball in. Haywood somehow falls underneath the last, but again, free kick now to Guyana. They have it.
Yes,
ball in hand now for Cordes. Not releasing the tackle. And now Guyana quickly tap it and go. With Haywood now dancing around looking for an option. Maybe trying to switch fields. He offloads now too. Guyana has some options towards the outside. Aaron pass to no one. Guyana tries to bobble it up. And now TNT have it in hand. Ball to ground. And we'll bring it back for the knock-on. Closing in on 4 minutes left in this match.
No, this was definitely emotional. Haywood was trying to get her teammates to follow her. And then that knock-on again, another scrum.
This one will be Trinidad and Tobago. Will place the ball in now. Looks like a bit of debris on the field. They'll just toss it off.
Let's see. Last scrum was collapsed. Let's see. This scrum is better. Scrum, players are engaged, the ball goes in the tunnel, and it's TNT's ball.
Free kick awarded again now. This time Trinidad and Tobago have it. And Stewart.
Let's see what they decide to do.
He'll tap it and keep the ball moving upfield. Very closely contested contest now.
Opening after the rock, player number 4 for TNT, and 9 excellently opening it.
Trinidad and Tobago has some space towards the outside and some speed. They have to evade one last tackler. And she's bundled up. Carliste still driving forward is Trinidad and Tobago. They have it now. Plenty of space towards the outside, and they have support for days. Ball through several hands. A nice little loop around pass. Trinidad and Tobago. Vincent is brought down. Gets back to her feet. Still has it now. Driving forward. She has plenty of support now. Towards the outside is George. George, instrumental earlier, is well tackled by Guyana. Excellent effort there by Haywood. Phenomenal stuff. And now Trinidad and Tobago waste no time recycling ball back. Pantor, the captain, brings it in. And now Guyana have stolen it back. An airy kick went up straight away in the air. Trinidad and Tobago come back with it. And Jack has it now, looking for an offload to George. Just misses the target, but picks it up now. George looking for space towards the outside. She is tackled by Haywood, who's about half her size.
This is just amazing. That tackle by Haywood was amazing. We can see how no matter the size of the player, if you go to the feet, you will definitely get her down.
Quite the challenge when you size up Haywood and George. There certainly is a mismatch there, but she did an exceptional job. Trinidad and Tobago with ball in play now. Plenty of options. They're in the danger zone. Great ball work. Vincent. Pantor have it. They're trying to go around the edge.
We just saw a knock on. Let's see if the ref calls it.
Closing in on a minute left on the clock. A very narrow lead for Trinidad and Tobago. 7-5. A try here will be certainly beneficial. And now just skips through is Pantor. Right on the line. Penalty called for offsides. Trinidad and Tobago, they waste no time. Try to crash over the line. But they're going to bring it back again to the penalty.
Definitely have been seeing this excellent offensive from Trinidad and Tobago. We have a player down, let's see.
And time is
She's
off the
okay.
clock. We got the medical staff who's going to come to the field. But how about that effort there from Trinidad and Tobago? They're so close to the try line. What's it going to take to get it over, Marisol?
I think it's just one more pass. I mean, they're so close right there, but Guyana has given them such a big fight. This has definitely been a very interesting game. I love Haywood's passion. Definitely excellent tackle from her part. And hopefully the player from Guyana is okay.
Yes, definitely. We have great medical support here in this wonderful facility. With some big contact right in front of the post there.
Vincent has also been trying to get that try from TNT on the sides. Guyana hasn't let them, so let's see if she's able to.
It's Guyana looking over for concern for their teammate who's on the ground there. It has been such a closely contested contest right here. The goal line stand for Guyana. They're trying to put everything they can into it to keep them out. They're just down 2 points. With even just the slimmest of margins of time left on the clock, they definitely still have an opportunity. And anything can happen in sevens. It's one of the best parts.
I think that's exactly what makes sevens such an interesting game compared to 15s. It's so fast. You need to be concentrated all of this match because you're just attacking.
And it looks like the player for Guyana, she has actually been able to sit up now, so there's more positive to say for this one. It looks like another great player for Trinidad and Tobago was Nicolette Panther, the captain. She did a great job of just distributing ball and moving it around to create some opportunities for Trinidad and Tobago.
So we can see the Guyanese player is up. Hopefully she's fine. That's crowd is applauding her.
Yes, wonderful to see her get off the field on her own accord as well. And now, back to the action on the field. Trinidad and Tobago knocking at the door. Panther again somehow gets the ball off to Jack. Right on the line they are. Penalty called. Again, coming in from the side. Guyana thought they had it stolen. Quick ball movement now for Panther. Has an option for Vincent. A tough double tackle there from Guyana now, but still Panther looks to move the ball quickly for Jack. Ball still in play, almost no time left. A nice pickup there for Stewart. Stewart looks to the outside. She has an option. Hayward, of course, is there to stuff it up. And now a nice pass out toward the outside is Jordan Brown. Just on the edge. And try awarded. Jordan Brown finally gets the job done for Trinidad and Tobago, bringing the score up to 12 points to 5.
That was definitely a good fight that Guyana gave to the TNT team. George tried to go in there. They didn't let her double tackle. And then player number 3 made an excellent try for TNT team.
Yes, beautiful stuff by Dahlia Jordan Brown, just putting the exclamation point at the end of a fantastic contest. There's been just beautiful back and forth play between both sides. Guyana went down a player early with an early yellow card, had an influential injury as well. And Trinidad and Tobago stayed the course, stuck with their game plan. And now they have the attempt for the conversion, which will likely be the last bit in this match.
What I've also liked is the footwork. One of the tackles earlier on, I loved how the TNT player just didn't let the tackle. She kept on moving her legs. This is really good tactics where when you're in the rugby field, you keep on moving your feet. Makes that almost impossible for the other team player to tackle you.
And the conversion was no good as we get another look there at Jordan Brown, just dotting that try down to finish it off. And that we're into full time, and the contest will go to Trinidad and Tobago, 12 points to 5 against Guyana. I'm Katie Wurst from Marisol Tello, and we'll be right back, so stay tuned for the next contest, which is going to be Mexico versus British Virgin Islands in the men's Pool C.